For week 2, we're going to be going through 2 different chapters, and we are going to be using SQL Server Management Studio. So you need to have SQL Server and SSMS installed, and you also need to have the database files installed. If you have not done that, go back to week 1 and complete this section on required software and database files, because you will not be able to do week 2 until you have that done. Okay, and then you'll come into week 2 and you're going to read chapter 2 and 3 in your book. And then the key points basically summarize what's in that chapter. And there are YouTube videos kind of linked in here. And there are also interactive sites. So when possible, I link you to sites where you can practice commands. For this first chapter, chapter 2, this is all about using SSMS. And this is probably one of the more important chapters, because if you don't know how to use SSMS, you are really going to struggle in this course. So this goes through, how to view your tables and how to view the data and how to tell where the keys are and all of that kind of stuff. How to view the rows that are in the tables. So make sure you read through this. And then to give you a little practice, we have a textbook assignment. Now, the textbook assignments in this class are designed to give you directed practice, which means you will find a video that walks through the tasks with you. So it's kind of the same thing as, coming to class and having me show you how to do it. Okay, so for each one of these tasks, you can watch the video and complete the steps. It's easiest if you have a mobile device or a second monitor that you can play the video on, because that way you can pause the video and do it on your computer while you are watching. Okay, that's my helpful hint of the day. So this particular assignment is designed for you to interact with SSMS and learn how to use it. Okay, so as you go through here, the first 2 tasks have videos, and then the second one, you're doing it more on your own. So this is for you to practice. Everything you're asked to do here, you've already been shown how to do in tasks 1 and 2. Okay, and when you're done with this, what you will do is put it in the Dropbox. So you will come over here, add a submission, and you will submit it. And that way I know you're done. And then I wait until everything is due, and then I download all of them and correct them. I did include an additional file here because I felt like you needed some extra information on backup and restores. The course final exam is a certification exam. It's a professional certification, and it has objectives, and backups and restores is an objective in that exam. And I felt like you guys needed a little more information on backups and restores for that exam, which is why I included this. So you definitely are going to want to download this and keep it on hand and kind of read through this so you understand about the different types of restores that are available in SQL Server. Okay, and then for chapter 3, now that you know how to use SSMS, we're actually going to be doing some queries of database files. So you're going to read the chapter in the book, and then you're going to kind of review the key points. And so we kind of go through the syntax of a select query, which is a query that you are going to be using all semester. And I mentioned that I have links to interactive sites, and this is one of them. Okay, so this is kind of awesome because you can actually query a database here. So this is selecting all the columns, but you can change it and you can say, I want the customer name and I want the city. And then you can run the query and you can adjust it. Okay, so anytime you see a link, I encourage you to select it because you can practice while you're reading. Okay, so we go through the different variations of the select clause. And then the where clause acts as a filter. So it limits what you see. So we talk about the where clause. And so you'll kind of read through here again, make sure that you click on these links to practice because that is where you're going to get the most out of this course. You don't learn by reading, you learn by doing. So make sure you practice and then you will come in and do the textbook assignment. And so for this one, for each task, I put the videos up at the top. So there's links to the different tasks. And then each task has a different scenarios that you are going to be reading through and then creating selects, basically to satisfy a very picky boss. So as you read through the scenario, then these steps will kind of tell you how to put the select together. Okay, and then as we do the selects, we are going to comment them out. And by the time you're done, you're going to have one file with quite a few commands in it that you are going to then submit. And where you're going to submit that is the Dropbox. I did include an article on the like operator and wildcard characters because those seem to be things that students get a little confused about. So how is the like operator used? It is actually used with wildcards. So, but the wildcards in SQL Server are a little different than you might expect. So we have underscores and percentages instead of question marks and asterisks. Okay, so that is something that students got confused about. So I went ahead and put that in there for you. And then there is another article on wildcard characters. I went ahead and defined terms at the end of the chapters, which you can download. And we have our chapter slides, our slideshows. Then one of the commands in the chapter talks about with ties. So that's kind of a little different clause. So I have information on that. And if you feel like you need additional practice, if there's anything you're confused about, you can go to the W3 Schools SQL tutorial. And the topics that we have covered so far, I've listed here. So you can go ahead and get additional practice that way. The two things that you need to turn in this week are the Chapter 2 textbook assignment and the Chapter 3 textbook assignment. Okay, those are the two assignments for this week. If you run into problems, please let me know. I am here to help you, and I hope you guys all have an awesome week.